Hello and welcome. I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and Marconic multidimensional energy teacher and practitioner. This month, I'm looking at new choices because I'm putting this out in January. We talked about being stuck in a rut and how you open yourself up to new possibilities. And this week, it's all about releasing the fear because when we put ourselves out there and ask for new possibilities, sometimes large things may come up. Usually we don't get fearful of the small, of trying a new class, unless it's something like I had said last week, if you're going to a Pilates class and you're asked to wear a leotard, you go, not that you are there, but if you go to a ballet class, they may still ask for that. But something that you feel uncomfortable wearing, maybe there's a little bit of fear involved or worry, or trying something, opening yourself up when you're not used to it. So new choices is about anything that you want in life, not just the small, but maybe the large as well, the middle-sized ones. And maybe you have a bunch of fear that comes up after those possibilities show up. So there you are, requesting the universe for something new, something that fills your heart with joy, or whatever you want to make. Just make sure when you ask the universe for something, you don't leave an open-ended question. Don't say, I want something new in my life. Anything may happen. You could get a disease. You could have, you could have a relative move in with you that you hate. So make sure you put something out there that makes sense for you. Include the fact that I want something new in my life that it brings me more, fill in the blank, love, joy, just whatever you want, a sense of fulfillment. Maybe you want to help other people, but make sure it's not just helping other people, that it gives you a sense of peace or contentment or something that is about you and not just about the world. So if you say, I want to help the world, but bring me something that makes me feel joyful when I do it, because you can help the world in a lot of different ways. And when the universe provides different possibilities for you, if you go, no, maybe it's not for you. It's just a possibility, but maybe it is for you and you're just scared of it for whatever reason. It may be a big opportunity and you go, it wasn't quite what I meant. Maybe there'll be a volunteer position that comes up that's big rather than just an hour here and there. Maybe you're already volunteering an hour here and there and a position opens up, whether it pays or not, that is maybe the president of a board instead of just on the board or something like that where you go, oh, I don't know about that. I know I opened myself up to a new possibility and I was on a board and I said, okay, well, I'll be a vice chair. It's not a problem. And then the chairperson disappeared. I had no idea what I was doing. So I had help from other people to get me on track. But it was like, oh my God. And I wanted to abdicate because it's like, I don't know if you can do that, but I was like, I'm quitting. Don't want to do it. And they went, no, 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 we can help you. Lead. And it was like, oh my God, I've never done this in my life. It was a new possibility. I'm not sure I asked for that, but I did want more and I put myself into the vice chair and I asked for that and I wanted it. I ran for the election. So look at those new possibilities that come up, those new things, those new opportunities, and that fear that comes up is natural. Allow it to just be there and say, okay, why do I have this fear? What is it about this opportunity that is bringing up this stuff? So look at it, maybe write it down, meditate about it, whatever you need to do to get to the core of why. What is it about this opportunity that is making me fearful? Some people don't like the word why, so you can rephrase it into what is it about this thing that makes me feel this way? So maybe you write down, I would have to, like, for example, the one that I was facing with the chairperson, I'd have to know what I was doing. People may, um, I, why am I nervous? Well, I might embarrass myself. I might show I know nothing. I'm not good enough to lead. I have no idea what I'm doing. I might prove that I'm not capable of these sorts of things. I may show my innermost fear and people will go, oh, and they'll laugh at me. I mean, maybe the whole place will collapse around me and this thing that the chairperson around, this whole activity would go to pot and it would be gone on my watch. So I had a lot of fears and I went, all right. And then what would be good about it? Would I enjoy it? Would I make new friends from it? Would I get closer to the people I already knew? I mean, there was a lot of stuff going all the way down the line that I went, huh, oh, I don't have too much choice. I mean, I could leave, but then I'd leave a very small committee in a bad way. And I thought, well, I guess I'll try it. They said they'll help me. Let me see what I do. And it was not an opportunity I thought I wanted, like not ever, but maybe 5 years down the line of being a vice chair, I might be a chair. But sometimes those new possibilities that show up for you, those new opportunities, that's really what the universe is saying. You asked, this is really great for you. But then you have, ah! So really pay attention. New choices are an opportunity, but they're an option. You don't have to take them. You can stay where you're at. There's no badness about it. If somebody tries to judge you for it, you just go, hey, this isn't for me. But maybe it is. And that's the difference. If inside yourself you're going, oh no, I don't want to do this. That's different from, oh, I don't think I can do this. Feel the difference? There's you're kind of ambivalent, but it's not really a big thing. It's not an emotional response. It's more of a, this isn't for me, rather than, oh my God, this isn't for me. Because those emotions that sometimes we bury them, but you have to kind of weigh, how do I feel about this? Do I want to do it? No. But why? I don't want to do it because it just, yeah, I have no interest in it. It's like jumping out of an airplane. I have no interest in it. Now, if it was going down in flames, that would be a little different. If I have a parachute and it's going down in flames, then I would go, maybe I'll try jumping out of a plane. But I don't really have any interest in it. If it's going perfectly fine and we're, flying in a small plane, I'm not jumping out of it, even with the parachute. So you look at it and you weigh how you're feeling. Do I have that fear? Or is it just not an opportunity that I have any interest in whatsoever? When I looked at some of these different things that have come up for me, I had fear about being a life coach because I didn't want to ruin somebody's life until I realized it wasn't up to me to fix them. It was just up to me to ask them questions so they can help themselves, to get them thinking, to help them to find their path without me having to just say, if someone is, I wouldn't say anybody's broken, but if they're not on the path they want, it's just like shaking them up a little to say, so where do you want to be? What is your goal for this life or this particular thing? And let me get you there. Let me help you get from here to there. Because once you know what you want, then you can get there. But I was scared to death at the beginning because I didn't want to, as I said, ruin somebody's life, screw them up. It's something that the fear is there because it matters to you. Those things that you're fearful of, not embarrassing yourself, not being good enough to do a good job, not being attractive enough, somebody laughing at you, whatever it may be, total embarrassment, whatever it may be for this particular new possibility that shows up for you. Once you know what they are, once you can figure out why is this bothering me so much? Why do I not want to jump into this? If the reasons are I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the money, those are different reasons from I'm fearful or I don't want it. The ones in the middle could be excuses that are based on the first part. The first part of I'm not good enough. I don't know if I can do it. Those things are obvious. When you get to the I don't have the finances to do it, I don't have the time, I have other priorities. I came across something I really wanted to do, and I didn't have the money saved that I was willing to spend. Didn't want to go into my savings for it. I wanted to figure out how I could do it. And I didn't have the time. It wasn't a priority right then. And that was Marconics. When it came to taking classes, I heard about it in the summer, I think either the spring or the summer of a certain year. And they said, you need to come and do this. This will be great for you. And I went, I want to do it. but I'm in the middle of 3 other classes, and all that extra money I had found for the other classes is going for those classes. I am not going to this right now. I don't want to do too many things at once. It's not a priority, but it's there on the horizon. I know I want to do it. Those next 6 months are not for that. I had a timeline and I knew it wasn't right. And that's great. But I also knew I wanted to do it. And I set about putting my mind out in the universe for the finances, saying, okay, I need the finances for this. And I'm going to go ahead and sign up when it becomes available for next year. Because by then I'll be done with all of my life coaching classes. I'll be done with most of my intuitive classes. I only have a few left by then. It was perfect timing. It's like, okay, I'm going to delve into what I'm doing now and do that later. But that's different from fear. There was no fear about it. There was a knowingness that this is what I'm going to do. It's just not the right time yet. So look at those middle kind of excuses and see, where do they fall in? Are they fear-based? Or are they just, yeah, I'm going to do this, but it's not the right time yet. But I'm not putting it off forever. But I know that, because sometimes we need to change our priorities. This isn't what I need to do. This isn't as important as I thought. I can get away without doing it because this new thing is too important. It's something that's going to change my life, bring me more joy. So maybe you need to cut out a couple of hours of the office or wherever your day job is because you're thinking, I work overtime. I don't need to work overtime all the time. I'm going to choose not to so I can do this other thing and make my life better. Maybe you don't think you can do that because the priorities at the office won't let you. You decide what's best for you. Maybe you need a different job that doesn't have as much overtime, so you can also do other things that matter to you. Whatever they are, look at the reason behind. This is all about releasing the fear of the new, of the unknown, of things you don't know if you're good enough for, if you can handle it. Why do you feel that way? What is it about that opportunity? And then release that fear by knowing what it is. Sometimes that's all you need to do is go, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. Well, heck with that. I can do this. But how do I do it? Okay, you can release fear by getting more education, by meditating and concentrating on what it is. You can release fear in many different ways. You may have to go to a life coach, or if it's really deep-seated, to a therapist or someone. But once you know what it is, then you can do something about it. You may just go, I'm just not interested in this new possibility, in this new opportunity showing up. And that's fine. That's more than fine. That's knowing your spirit and what resonates with you. And if that's the way it is, but look deeper. Look deeper than just, I don't want to do it. Well, is there an attitude behind you not wanting to do it? What is the attitude? I'm too good for that. I don't want it because I'm scared to death of doing it. I don't want it because there's no time for it. I mean, what is it about that? Delve into it. Life coaches are great for that, to figuring out why. We're also taught to say, never ask that question about why. So the answer would be, who would you have to be in order to have this opportunity work for you? What kind of person would you have to be? Another question we might ask is, what it is about this possibility that's sparking this feeling in you that you can't or won't or don't want to? Ask yourself those questions. If you have clear answers, then you'll know how to move forward. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm Carol DeChaine. If you like what you hear, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell notification if you'd like to know the next time that a video is posted. I do have Sunday nights, which are always the Joy Corner, and those are I am affirmations, or if you prefer, mantras, in order to get you through the week. And there are many, many years full of those, so you're going to find at least a couple hundred probably at this point. If you don't like the one I post, go back and find one that works for you that week, because every day we need a different one. But sometimes focusing on one for an entire week can be really, really helpful, or maybe even beyond if it's something really important to you. And then Wednesdays I put out one that's just on different subjects. Until next week, remember that life is a journey. Don't be too hard on yourself or unkind to yourself along the way. Make new choices where you can, where it makes sense to. And give yourself that gift of kindness.